What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here, Unsleeved Media, going to cover some news that I'm hearing about pre-release this weekend. I have to move the Dead TCG series to Sunday, which I will do because apparently I make a shitload of YouTube videos nowadays. So please make sure to like this video. I really appreciate it. I think we're either going to do Shadowrun or we're going to do the World of Warcraft TCG. You'll have to tune in tomorrow to see. Can't wait to get down to Gen Con in just a few weeks when I'm going to fill Santa's sack with a pile of Dead TCGs. I can't wait. But I asked a lot of people how their M19 pre-release was going. And, you know, it's interesting. I got kind of a mixed bag. Certainly, some people said it was a packed house and that it was good. If I had to break it down, I would say about a third of the people said that they were about normal. Or, you know, maybe it's just slightly less. But then 2/3 of people said it was completely dead. I talked to one person who said there were 16 people pre-registered at his Friday pre-release, and only 4 of them showed up. And the 4 people there didn't have very nice things to say about the future of Magic after getting hyped to go to pre-release and having it not fire. I asked on Twitter how people's pre-releases were, and I'll actually pull up that response. It's funny that some of the Magic shills jumped in right away to tell me, oh, it's only Friday night, man. It doesn't matter. Bullshit. Most hardcore, many hardcore fans always attend midnight. I've always been a midnight pre-release guy since, I don't know, since as long as they were offered. So it is a fine litmus test in my opinion. They're just trying to buy time to shill harder. I'm not sure exactly what the situation was, but one person sent me a message, Tim Roberts, who said simply, Magic is dead. 16 register for pre-release, 6 turn up. I'm sorry, not 4. Others only not here to collect their pre-release decks at the end of the weekend for 4+ events. So they just registered to get their pre-release decks and they're just going to show up and pick them up. I said, wow, yeah, my LGS was dead too. I'll talk about that in a second. Only 4 people pre-registered. That is true. And he said, general consensus is that Magic is dying. You know, I suppose if you're at that event, you might feel that way. I can understand. But I actually have, I think, 3 reasonable reasons for the low attendance this weekend. And you might be surprised. So I normally go, but it's World Cup. That is reason. These aren't really in order, but one of the reasons. It's World Cup weekend. The other thing you have to remember is that it's 4th of July weekend. YouTube views are down. People are traveling. It's just a poor weekend to have a pre-release. They should have waited another week. If they waited another week, the soccer hype is dying down. Everybody's back in town and excited to attend pre-release. This is just poor planning by Wizards of the Coast. Not necessarily an indication of what people are feeling about the game. I can usually count 36 to 50 every time LGS holds events. We're a surprisingly diverse place. Okay, that's good. Probably should have scheduled it next week and pushed back the release date. I agree. We have 50 at the store I'm in. I would say that's solid, right? Unless it's like a mega store, 50 people at pre-release is a lot. 8 at my pre-release. Same time slot for Dominaria, had 15. We're doing well at Board Game Barrister. That's good. That's right down the road from me. All signs point to that being a good local game store, by the way. And then you have shills coming in saying, who does pre-release on a Friday? They generally packed all day Saturday and Sunday. That's bull. Lots of people go on Fridays. I always do. And here's another reason I talked about. Summer pre-releases have typically been July 4th. It's also nice out, so many people want to play games inside. That said, my LGS is selling out of their allotment. That's good. So they're good. Mine's over 60. Seems like normal attendance. This is good. So it's a mixed bag. Now, here's one way less than the last set at my store. Good attendance, only 24. You know, it's interesting because I would have thought the return of the core set would have rallied. The reason it's disappointing, I think, I didn't expect it to be huge for the reasons I talked about. We have World Cup, okay? We have, at least in the Midwest, beautiful weather. It's a holiday week with the 4th of July. A lot of people are just out of town or they're in vacation mode doing, this sort of a thing. And, it's summertime. Summer sets just aren't that good. But the return of the core set is supposed to have been restorative to the normies, to casual players. And maybe this is something that's going to take a year or two. But I actually always went to core set pre-releases. You know why? Because I found them restorative. I found them refreshing. Let me just step back out of the lore. Let me step back out of the blocks. Let me just play with the cards that I like. A lot of reprints. I don't have to do a lot of preparation. I did a pre-release video last night of my deck build. We're going to talk about how these cards are already warping. I had a lot of fun doing that. So if you missed yesterday's video, I released it at midnight. It's only 12 hours ago. And I went through and had my own little mini pre-release like I do now. And I have fun. Core sets to me are fun. What do you think? Do you like core sets? I'm interested to hear what you think in the comment section down below. Maybe I'm overvaluing core sets. Now, the other thing, if you haven't been completely triggered on bad news about attendance and left a dislike and screeched away, is I talked to several local game stores who said, including my local game store, that pre-sales were still good. So now that Wizards has this, I think, great policy to help local game stores by allowing people to get the set early if they pick it up during pre-release. What I've heard is that pre-sales for Core 19, now not as good as Dominario the first time they did it, but still pre-sales for M19 have been strong, at least at the 2 stores I talked to. If you have a local game store, I'm curious. Let's work together to collect some data in the comment section down below. Did you pre-order a box of M19? Did you go to pre-release? If you went to pre-release, what did you notice? What was the mood in the room? Were people excited for a core set? I always got excited for a core set because it was like, I want to play with Liliana and Garrick and Jace and Gideon. That's the one time of the year I'm excited, or Johnny, I'm sorry. This is the one time a year I get pumped up about playing with the Gatewatch, like Chandra. But now this year we don't have Garrick. So maybe there's something to that. I don't know. Maybe it's just really exactly what it is, a combination of it being summer, and summer attendance is always lower. This is not a reflection of necessarily people's taste for the game. The holiday weekend, also double whammy. World Cup, also not good. There are a lot of soccer fans, maybe not as many in the U.S., but it's still, it's probably the most popular sporting event in the world, I'm guessing. So that's going to hurt attendance. People want to watch their soccer, their footy. And there's certainly some amount of people, many thousands of you, that are just turned off with the socio-political injection in the game, and we just don't want to go to pre-release. Maybe we just buy the cards and play with our friends. I'm curious, did Core Set 2019 pre-release seem low to you? What was the hype level at? And I'm interested in reading all of your replies in the comment section down below. If you did go to pre-release, let me know what you pulled, what kind of deck you ran, and how you did. I miss being able to do the pre-release vlog for all of you. Of course, as I've said, the only thing that sucks about being banned by Wizards of the Coast is I can't do my pre-release vlog for you all anymore, and I can't do my Grand Prix vlogs for you anymore. But guess what? I'm going to do a Gen Con vlog for you. I'm going to start going to more tabletop events like Origins and PAX, video game conventions. I'm going to sub in better conventions than Grand Prix, and we're all going to still have a lot of fun. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't attended pre-release yet this weekend, go do it. Support your local game store. Have lots of fun. And we'll talk to you again real soon.